So the summary of that can be said in just one sentence. Practicing minimalism is what leads to maximum results. You can practice minimalism with iPhone as well. They have this saying, no, they buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
So you have easy EMIs and you can pay later.
Yeah.
So actually, I would rephrase it as buy now and regret later.
Welcome to yet another episode of Money Biceps with Senthil Iyer. And today's episode is not just going to be special but different as well. Today we are going to discuss a topic which is not so much talked about, minimalism. And the reason this topic is not discussed is because we live in a maximalist society. We want more of everything, more wealth, more salary hikes, more clothes, more cars, more returns as well. And in this world, obsessed with more, can less be the answer? My name is Nikhil. I'm a personal finance strategist, and to get these answers, we have Mr. Senthil Iyer with us. Welcome, Senthil.
Thank you so much, Nikhil, and it's always a pleasure talking to you.
So, Senthil is one of the few SEBI registered investment advisors in this country, and he is founder of the company Horus Wealth and Wellness. This company was established 16 years ago, and Senthil, cutting to the chase, where does minimalism stands in your company? Under wealth or under wellness?
In fact, it is a part of both.
Okay.
Because wealth cannot be created in its true sense without wellness being a big part of it.
Okay. So tell us about your experiences with minimalism. How have you been able to practice it in your own life?
So the first thing that I've done is I've kept my number of clients at a minimum level. And almost all the clients that I've had, I've been serving are those who started small with me, but have grown over the last decade or so.
Okay.
So with such a kind of minimum number of people, I have established a great relationship with them. I'm almost like part of their family.
Yeah. So less is more is what you have already proved in your professional life.
Absolutely. The moment you have too many people to handle, then naturally the amount of time that you can give, the quality of time that you can give to each person reduces. Okay. So it always helps to have a minimum number of people in your circle.
So Senthil, in fact, when first we started discussing about this podcast of minimalism, the very first thing that came in my mind was a Netflix documentary called as The Minimalist. Yeah. So at that documentary, the characters talks about decluttering their house space with the things that they don't need, and ultimately they achieve a stress-free life.
Absolutely. The less number of things and less number of people that you have to take care of, the more time you get for yourself.
Okay.
So that naturally reduces stress from your life.
Okay. Let me play the devil's advocate here, Senthil. So let us say we have minimized n number of things from our life, but we will still see our friends, neighbors, relatives buying expensive gadgets, brand new cars. So will that not increase the stress in my life instead of reducing it? How do you see it?
See, having a good lifestyle is not a problem. Minimalism should not be misunderstood.
Okay.
Okay. So generally, whenever we talk about minimalism or whenever this topic comes for discussion, people think that it is about removing everything from your life and living a life of a sage or a hermit or something of that sort. That's not what it means. It means decluttering, which means again avoiding leakage or preventing leakage from happening, and preventing accumulation of stuff that is not used.
Okay.
If you just look at your loft in your house, you may be having a dysfunctional or non-functional vacuum cleaner there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you not dispose it? Because you thought that I'll use it sometime later.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what creates accumulation of stuff that is not required.
Right. In fact, I can relate this to my own life. So Diwali is round the corner. I always do cleaning of my house. You all guys do. So what the habit that I have is the things that I have not used in last 1 year, I dispose them off. So this reminds me of my own practice of minimalism without understanding it completely. Wherever I repainted my 13-year-old Activa, which had run just 25,000 kilometers, and I think it's working fine, doing a fair job.
Yeah, but that reminds me of something else too. That you did that after you bought your brand new Pulsar.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to after this podcast possibly.
Yeah, sure.
So as I see minimalism, it is more of decluttering your mind first, then decluttering your house, and ultimately achieving peace of mind.
Absolutely.
So can we say that minimalism can help us get out of the rat race that the whole world is running behind?
So, what is the rat race? In fact, what is the rat race we are running? First of all, so if you look at it even one level deeper, you will understand that you are constantly comparing yourself with others.
Yes,
That's the reason why we are into that rat race.
absolutely.
So people don't have clarity on what they want. So there's this saying that if you don't know where you want to go,
Yeah.
you're already there. But still you are going round and round, okay, trying to achieve something new, which is not possible. All right.
Yes.
So stop comparing yourself with others. That's the first thing that you have to do.
Okay.
So that's why I said take a step back and see what exactly you want to accomplish in your life. In terms of your profession, in terms of your career, in terms of what exactly gives you the joy, okay, true joy, in terms of pursuing something that you love to do. So are those priorities really your priorities? Or your priorities are comparing with somebody else as to why somebody else has bought 3 flats now and counting still? Why that person has 4 cars and still counting? So why do you want to do that? And recently I read a article by a good friend of mine, Mr. Vivek Kaul,
Okay.
in which he replaced fear of missing out with a new term.
What is that?
So instead of FOMO, it is JOMO, the joy of missing out.
Okay.
So minimalism, the first step is to derive joy from missing out from stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Because whenever somebody is showing you the fear of missing out, what actually they are doing is to promote or publicize their own products. So they are looking for customers.
Yeah.
And you are sitting ducks. So if you're a victim of FOMO, you are sitting ducks for all of those advertisers and marketers.
And they get rich, we get possibly poor or remain at the same level.
We get stressed out.
Yeah. Okay. So, Senthil, let me take a step back and think, why did this maximalism mindset really set up in our mind? So, how I take it is the people, the Gen X, the Gen Ys, or even the guys before them, we have brought up in an environment where everything was not available to us since our childhood. So there was like one TV shared between multiple houses. In fact, there was only one channel on those TVs, Doordarshan. So we haven't been really affluent as we are today. So do you think that sow the seeds of going behind more and more and more?
So I can just say simple logic and common sense is what is the solution for this. Okay. So there is this thing called Pareto principle. Have you heard of it?
Yes, the 80-20 rule.
Yeah, the 80-20 rule. So it says that 20% of stuff that you do gives you 80% of the results.
Okay.
Which automatically means 80% of the stuff that you do, okay, gives you only 20% value.
Yes.
So if you start looking for value in whatever you're doing, be it your earning source, be it your spending, or even your investments,
Yeah.
in everything, if you see 20% of your efforts bring in 80% of the results. Approximately. This is not like a hard and fast rule, but you understand the gist of it.
I think I'm getting it even more now. So I was able to relate this minimalism with something that a lot of manufacturing companies have been doing since ages.
Yeah.
It is the Toyota's lean principle. And I think the DNA between minimalism and the lean is quite similar. So what Toyota does is it tries to maximize the value by reducing the waste. And I suppose we are doing the same thing by being a minimalist, isn't it?
So the summary of that can be said in just one sentence. Practicing minimalism is what leads to maximum results.
As I think more and more, Senthil, I am able to relate more things in my life. The first thing I am able to relate is Netflix. So when you open Netflix, anyone opens Netflix, it has n number of options. And many a times I go through multiple of those, watch them for 5 minutes, those movies, and then I just switch it off. Is it like having more options is creating clutter in our mind?
See, how much ever options you have only 24 hours.
Yes.
So that explains everything. So you need to pick and choose. You need to make those decisions.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why Mark Zuckerberg wears a black T-shirt all the time or a grey T-shirt, whatever, he has multiples of that.
Yes.
So he doesn't have to make that decision of what to wear every day.
Right. So right decisions is what will drive us towards being a minimalism.
I'm saying you need to make less number of decisions.
Okay.
So how do you declutter? You subscriptions, all your subscriptions, you just throw it into the waste basket.
Yeah.
And just choose only those that you really are watching. So you can even do a self audit. So this is a very important thing I'm telling you. You need to do a self audit in terms of how are you spending your time. So just like you make a budget for your money, you also make a budget for your time.
Okay.
And what is it that gives you maximum value in terms of pleasure? So why do you watch Netflix? You want pleasure,
Yes.
okay, of viewing. So what is it that you view, and what is it that gives you maximum pleasure?
Yeah.
Now, once you are able to understand that, then only stick to those channels, right?
Right.
So then you have less number of subscriptions. So people go for all sort of subscriptions and end up losing a lot of money also there.
Yes. In fact, there is a study, a well-known study. Anyone can Google this. That when people are stressed, they go on a shopping spree. Reason? Shopping reduces their pressure, and this has been scientifically proven. At least the short-term pressure, as I can see. But over a period, they realize that they are cluttering their house with more and more goods that they haven't used since ages. Even I am a victim of that. Do you resonate with this sentence?
Of course. See, short-term pleasure is derived from buying stuff, and generally you buy stuff with a credit card, which means you're buying stuff with the money that you don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, so it actually releases you of your short-term stress, but you are creating long-term stress for yourself. So when it comes to impulsive buying, you end up accumulating stuff that you don't need also.
Yes.
So they have this saying, no, they buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
So you have easy EMIs and you can pay later.
Yeah.
So actually, I would rephrase it as buy now and regret later. Now, the only way to get out of this is to practice delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is one solid step towards minimalism. Because the moment you delay the decision of buying something by at least 1 week, you even forget that you wanted to buy something like that.
Right.
And 90% of the stuff or 80% of the stuff you won't buy just because you've delayed it by 1 week.
Except that marketing has made it very attractive. For example, the recently launched iPhone 17. In fact, I have one of my friends who just jumped on upgrading his old iPhone, which was working because of EMI scheme, pay later scheme. This rush is going to continue.
So first thing that you need to sit back and observe is what is the quality of life that you're living. Okay. So when it comes to iPhone, you can practice minimalism with iPhone as well.
How is that?
You don't have to buy the latest iPhone.
Okay.
See, the quality difference between two successive versions of iPhone is not that spectacular.
Yes.
Even 2-3 versions before will also do the same stuff that you wanted to do.
Right.
So if you are looking for quality, so I am no one to judge the quality of a mobile phone brand. The user best knows it as to whether he or she is utilizing the maximum features of whatever is provided in that particular phone. Okay, so if that purpose is served with a used phone, 2-3 versions prior to it, might as well take it as a business decision. It is something that is useful to you. Just go ahead and buy it.
Yeah.
But what is the point in standing in long queue, waiting overnight?
Yes,
at a new store or at a store nearby. This is sheer fear of missing out that is happening, is at work, and excessive marketing and programming. So you're becoming a victim of that programming. So if you're a victim of programming, then you will never live a peaceful life. If you were happy buying a brand new iPhone, you should still be happy because you bought a brand new iPhone last time, right?
Yes.
So what pushes you to buy a brand new iPhone again? So if that did not give you permanent happiness, probably this also won't give you permanent happiness, right?
That reminds me of a famous marketing psychology that I learned during my MBA days. People don't buy things. They buy the feeling. The feeling of having a new iPhone, or for that matter, a new car, is what people are after. And that feeling doesn't last. It will fade away with time. And hence, we are advocating minimalism as your financial strategist. So Senthil, as a financial strategist, how do we practice minimalism in our investments?
That's a very good question that you've asked. I would call chasing investment returns as the second rat race that everyone follows. The The first rat race being in their career,
Yeah.
where they don't have clarity where they want to go, and they end up being in the rat race. And in the same way, they chase maximum returns from their
Okay.
investments,
Yeah.
because of which they again follow another rat race.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you get out of this?
Yes.
Again, the solution is to have clarity in terms of what you really want. So when I ask this question to people, how much return you want, the typical response I get is, I want maximum returns.
Yes.
So again, you are following the maximalist ideology.
Yeah.
And practically we know that you can achieve maximum return only in retrospect.
Yes.
Because after a particular amount of time has passed, only then you will know which investment made the maximum returns.
Yeah.
So instead, if you have clarity in terms of what you want to do with your money, see, first of all, look at money as a tool that fulfills your needs.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you don't end up utilizing in your life is what ends up as your wealth.
Yes.
Okay, so typically we need to have clarity on what you really want to accomplish in your life through the money that you have earned. Okay, so that is about identifying clearly your goals,
Financial goals.
financial goals. Okay, so once you draw up that plan, it helps us to figure out what is the optimum return on investment that you need in order to fulfill those goals with the resources that you have.
Okay, but how do I really find that optimal return that I need? I mean, I'm
And
not
that's a technical process that we need to
Okay.
follow, and of course an expert can help you with that. We draw up your life cash flows.
okay.
So we project your cash flows from now till the end of your life. All the expenses, all the incomes,
Yeah.
and also all the major financial goals,
Yeah.
major, minor financial, whatever it is there. We draw up everything and we figure out what is the rate of return
Yeah.
that is required
Yes.
in order to fulfill those goals. Okay, that will actually bridge the gap, because what exactly you earn will not be sufficient to exactly fulfill what you need to do.
Yeah.
So the gap is bridged by investment returns. That's why you invest your money, right?
Yes.
To earn the returns. So how much return you need is something which we can figure out from that process. Now, once you have clarity on how much return you want, then you can forget the world. You can just focus on investing in the right way to accomplish that particular return. If some other investment gives multifold of that return, you are not bothered, because you are only focusing on getting the right amount of returns consistently over a long period of time.
Yeah. So investment isn't about chasing maximum returns, but chasing the most appropriate returns that you need to live a happy and fulfilling life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Senthil, is living within our means also a minimalistic approach?
It's one kind of minimalistic approach, but I would call it an extremist approach, because you are not opening the doors that can be opened in your life. See, when I say minimalism, I'm not saying you earn less than what your true potential is.
Okay.
I'm only saying that you don't burn yourself out in terms of fulfilling those desires which are given to you by somebody else.
Okay.
So, typical fear of missing out, right? So, why are you burning yourself out? Because you're comparing yourself with somebody else. That person is a millionaire. This person is a billionaire.
Yeah.
So, I also want to become a millionaire. Why do you want to become a millionaire? Why do you want to become a billionaire? So, if you actually interview those people who are already billionaires, they never set out going about things to become a millionaire. That was not their goal.
Yes.
Their goal was to find a solution for a problem.
Right.
And then it got built up so big that they became billionaires. If I'm saying, okay, this is my income, let me live within that means, then you're not even opening the idea of expanding your scope of income.
Yeah.
So for me, utilizing your potential to its true level is also an important aspect of minimalism, which means you are actually decluttering the way you are spending your time and focusing your time in such a manner that you are expanding the horizons of how much you can earn. So again, going back to the Pareto principle,
Yeah.
let's say 80-20 rule, 20% of your efforts is giving you 80% of your income. Then what is the important common sense thing that you would do next is to remove those 80% work that you're doing, which is not helping you. So every step towards minimalism is actually one major step towards maximalism.
So as we conclude this discussion on minimalism, for those of our audience who are still not convinced, let me tell you, you are already a minimalist. When you talk about digital detox, mindful eating, meditation, you are decluttering your mind, is it not? So are you not a minimalist? See, the things that have to be purchased for living will be purchased, and for everything else, there's minimalism.
Absolutely, very well said.
Thank you, Senthil, one more time for coming on this podcast and guiding our audience to a more productive approach towards life and towards expenses as well. Thank you, Senthil.
On a closing note, I would like to mention that we should not chase quantity. Instead, we should chase quality.
And minimalism is a way to chase and achieve quality in your life. Is it?
Absolutely.